I was upstairs and I went into the bigger room and I saw this black mass and it was kind of fuzzy. This thing is not good. It definitely affects the living in a very negative way. The biggest thing that I got is that you would feel like you are being watched by this thing because it's always around. And I think all around the place you would hear like scratching noises, a strange growl, like as if it was coming from a cat though, you know? But it's not a cat. I was able to figure out towards the end of my walk that this entity was in fact human at one point and would have been on the premises pre-1940s and was a bad man.
Well, family watched you and I talked about.
Yeah. The other night, I had some stuff to do, and I felt like something was staring at me from behind. So I turned around, looked, nobody there.
I can attest to that. I will stay late sometimes, and you can feel someone looking at you, and you turn around, and sure enough, nothing's there.
Neil, you talked to me about hearing strange noises, right?
Yeah. I'll be sitting there tattooing someone, and it sounds like someone's punching the floor underneath my feet, and I've gone down there. There's nothing there. I've had customers even ask me, what's that noise? And then basically, you just tell them it's the ghost.
So what else?
So then I went down to the basement, and what I encountered was a lot of dead people. And they are very sad, very depressed, and angry. And I got different time periods with them because of their clothing. This is like 20s, 30s,
Right.
40s. And they were all dressed very well.
I have a pretty good idea what you saw down there. From 1922 to 2001, the building was a funeral home.
Ooh.
It was a family-run business started by a guy named John Clement. I actually spoke to a family member who worked here for 25 years, and he gave me this picture of when it was a funeral parlor, and they lived in the apartment upstairs. He told me thousands of bodies came through here. They would embalm the bodies here, and they held the wakes and the funerals right here, at least almost every single day, which is maybe when you saw dead people all dressed up.
Interesting.
Now, the dead people, did they do anything to the living?
Yeah. If the living were to spend a lot of time downstairs, the living would feel that depression and possibly suicidal. I think that the living would see these people as like black shadow figures. And I think because they're so physical that if the living were down there, I actually think that people would feel like they were being bumped into.
If you go down there, you feel pressure on your shoulders, and it kind of envelops you, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody runs up those stairs.
And you guys don't look like you scare easy.
No, I don't scare easy at all. But my shadow figure, I've seen it a couple times here and there, but Neil sees it on a daily basis.
I see it at least 4 times a week. It's a void. I wouldn't even call it black, it's empty.
So the thing about the people downstairs is that they feel trapped. Their attitude has become, if we're stuck here, y'all are gonna be too. So anybody who would die here now would become trapped by them. The other thing I got, I was walking up to the top of those stairs, and there was a male who came in really quickly, and he had a heart attack, and he died. And he is their first, like, victim as far as being trapped. So they're holding him here, just like they've been held here. And so I had a sketch done of what I saw.
Any idea when this guy had a heart attack?
In the last 20 years, I guess.
So these dressed up people are dead in the basement?
Yes.
And they've taken this guy who had a heart attack?
Yes.
I don't think I'll be looking at the stairs the same again.
Never again.
Well, obviously, we need to talk about Richie.
Yes.
Now, that's Chris's best friend I was telling you about, who he made a promise to. This is a photo of Richie right here.
He was a very charismatic guy. He was always very open, very gracious. If he could do something for you, you never even had to ask. He would just do it for you.
Do me a favor and take Amy through Richie's death.
Richie was celebrating his 37th birthday. He used to live upstairs. He went to sleep, did not wake up. He had a mild heart attack. He just passed away in his sleep.
Now do me a favor and tell her about that promise you made.
When he passed away, his son was 4 years old.
Oh, man.
We made a promise to his son and to his son's mother that we would reopen this shop, and in any way we would help.
Here's a picture of Odin. Richie's son, he's what, about 14?
Yes, he just turned 14.
He's a good kid.
Now, the thing is, when he turns 18, Chris is ready to turn it over, but what's going on here, he don't know if he can do that. And that's the reason we're here.
So for the last 10 years, that's why we've been here. That's why this place means so much to us, because this was Richie's. This was our home.
Now, is this Richie?
Well, more than likely.
That just kind of puts a little pit in my stomach.
Now, you mentioned that these people claim anyone who dies here, right?
Yes.
I gotta tell you, I've never seen so many people die young in one building. The Clements, the family who owned the funeral parlor, they lost 3 family members here under the age of 50. The first was Anna Clement, the wife of John, the guy who originally bought the place and opened it up as a funeral parlor. She died in 1938 of a heart attack. She was about 45 years old. The next death was her and John's son, Richard, who died after his 3rd heart attack in the upstairs bathroom in 1963. He was 41 when he died. Now, there's a 3rd one who was John's grandson, David, who died of a heart attack in 1984.
Heart attack.
Right. He was only 28. Now, it gets worse. In 1986, they were holding a funeral for a dead guy named Edwin Kudecki. He died from, of course, a heart attack. Edwin's brother, Walter, came here to do a visitation with his brother at the wake and had a heart attack right here.
I hope you're ready for this. Okay, one day, Richie came down to the front steps, got into an argument with an apparition. The apparition tells him, "My name's Walter. What are you doing here?" Richie gets pushed, goes head over heels down those 15 to 20 metal steps,
Oh, my God.
and he landed on the ending.
Now, tell me the truth. Did you know about this guy, Walter?
No,
You didn't?
no, I had no idea. But as for the rest of all these heart attacks, and this guy, Walter, that died of a heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack.
I'm really worried about you guys.